Good morning, everyone. Thanks for jumping on today. Appreciate it. Hey, today we're going to go through something super fun. Today's master training is all about the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. For those who don't know, John Maxwell is a master when it comes to leadership. He does trainings all over the world. In fact, one of my favorite books ever is The 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. It really changed how I see myself as a leader, and we'll go through that another time. But these 21 laws of leadership, they're so important when it comes to being influential, to being a leader of a team, to creating success in your life. As it says, they're irrefutable, right? So let's go ahead and dive in and just kind of understand. Now, obviously, this is going to be a short training. Just we're going to review the 21 laws. I recommend you go get this book and you actually read it. And you actually go through all the 21 laws and understand them to perfection. But we're going to kind of go through each one and just briefly and see if we can't apply these a little bit more in our lives, right? So the first law is what he calls the law of the lid, which is interesting. Leadership ability is the lid that determines a person's level of effectiveness. So your leadership ability will determine the impact that you have on an organization. The lower your ability to lead, the lower the lid on your potential. Okay, so it's like that barrier. Okay, what he means by that, it's a lid that's blocking you from going up. Okay, so if you don't advance your leadership skills, then you're going to be stuck, right? That's the whole point. It's the lid. It's what's holding you down. Okay, it's the barrier that keeps you from progressing upwards, is the lack of leadership. So as you increase your leadership ability, that is going to allow you to rise. Okay, it's going to allow you to have impact and grow your team and all of that. So the law of the lid, that's the first thing we have to understand, is that without leadership skills, we're always going to be just kind of stuck at the same place. Okay, so law of the lid, we need to understand how to gain leadership skills so we can raise that barrier, we can raise that limit. Okay, the second law is then of influence. So this is the power to influence other people to participation. That's really what it's all about, right? It's, as a leader, we are the ones that are motivating, reminding, placing the calls, right? Talking to people, okay? If no one's following you, you're not a leader, in other words, right? You're not doing what it takes to get people to do the things, right? And that's bottom line. You got to do stuff. So management is part of being a leader, but just because you can manage something, it does not mean that you can lead. Okay, one thing is to organize it and to say, hey, okay, this is what we're doing and stuff, but leading really is influencing. It's motivating. It's, showing people the value of why they want to be involved and why it's to their advantage to do the things that they need to be doing, right? And as often as possible, not just once in a while, but always, right? So law of influence, very important. And the more influence you have, that goes back to the 5 levels of leadership that we talk about, or that John Maxwell talks about, that one thing is to be just a leader because you have a title, right? And say, oh, I'm the manager, I'm the supervisor, you have to do what I say because otherwise I can fire you, right? That's one level of leadership. But the goal is to have leadership based on, oh, you know what, I'm going to do this because I know you and I like you and I trust you, right? Or then there's the next level of, hey, I'm going to do this because I can see that you're having success, and if I follow what you do, I'll probably have success too, right? And then there's the next level, which is, oh wow, I'm going to lead or follow you because I did what you taught me to do, and now I'm having success, and so, oh my goodness, I'm going to follow you everywhere because I see that what you taught me worked, right? And it's working for me. So that's the idea, is that we start to have that influence, and we've lifted the lid, and now we have that influence towards others where they're going to start following us first because they know us and like us. And then as they continue to see success and everything, that influence grows. All right, then we have the law of process. This law shows that what matters most is what you do over the long haul, right? This is the consistency over time law, okay? It requires a lifetime of perseverance and dedication to become a good leader. And if you want to see how someone becomes a champion, just look at their daily routine, right? So this is the famous, Rome wasn't built in a day, it was built every day. This is the consistent, constant, daily action is what is going to get you there. All right, it's the process, and you just have to give it time, because that's it's also this idea of geometric progression, right? You've all heard the example of the penny that doubles every day for 30 days. And in the beginning, it doesn't seem like very much, right? It's, one penny becomes two, two becomes four, four becomes eight. In the first few days, you're going, oh my goodness, I haven't even made it to $1 yet, right? But by day 30, it becomes well over $1 million. And so you just have to give it that time and be consistent about it, and then it will become something. If you stop, if you get disheartened because oh, it's only 4 cents, it's only 8 cents, it's only 16 cents, it's only 32 cents, it's only 64 cents. You're seeing these little itty bitty payouts, and you're going, I don't know if it's worth it. So you stop, right? And you get distracted, or you think, oh, I'm going to start over here instead. And that's what happens is people, they never stick with it long enough to let it turn into something significant. All right. So we want to have a daily routine that is consistent and is accomplishing things, even though it's just a little bit. Okay. Then we have the law of navigation. So anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course, right? So good navigators are counting the cost before making commitments for themselves and others. And this has to do with vision, a lot to do with vision, right? It has to do with, creating your why, creating your motivation, and being able to say, hey, you know what, if we do this, this is what we're going to achieve. This is where we're going to go. This is what, is at the destination, right? I like to think of this, going back to the ship, if we were pirates, right? And there's pirate treasure, right? There's pirate treasure on this island. Let's go get it, right? Let's navigate the course to go find the hidden buried treasure. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to, do what I got to do, because I know in the end, the reward's going to be there, right? I know in the end, I'm going to get my treasure. And so we're going to know, okay, if I do these things daily, it's going to pay off, right? And that's the important thing. So we have to know where we're going and how we can get there as a leader, and show others how to do that. And then when we actually get there and they get the reward, then wow, okay, we've achieved that level of leadership. Law of addition, number 5. The law of addition focuses on advancing others and not ourselves, right? So this has a lot to do with the concept of delegation, yes, but also it has this idea of, service to others. And as a true leader, we're going to be focusing on creating value for others, for everyone, for the community, for the team, for the whole group, right? We're going to be able to, serve best when we're adding more value to the entire community, not just being selfish, all about me, 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 me. So leaders can add value to others by valuing others, right? And leading or relating to what others value. So the true leaders are going to ask, how can I serve? How is this going to benefit you guys, right? Because they're focused on service. And so it's not so much about what's in it for me. So when you have that attitude, when you show people, hey, you know what, I'm thinking about you, I'm thinking about the team, I'm thinking about your people too, right? That we're doing what's best for everybody, not just what's best for me, then people are going to be motivated, they're going to be grateful, they're going to be loyal, because they can see that you're actually worried about them. And then everybody's working together and everybody's happy, right? And motivated, because they can trust that the leader is actually working for the benefit of all. Okay. So huge, huge part of this whole thing is this law of addition. All right. Then number 6 is the law of solid ground, right? Good character builds trust, and it's the foundation of leadership. So to build trust, a leader must show 3 qualities: competence, connection, and character, right? So we've got to be honest, we've got to be sincere, we've got to be transparent, but we've got to also be increasing our skill set, right? We've got to be constantly connected. We can't just, ignore, even when things get tough or hard, when there's situations that need to be dealt with, we can't just ignore them, right? Or think they'll just go away by themselves. That's what it is, right? A leader is somebody that will say, oh, okay, yeah, I see that's a problem. Let's figure out how to do it. Okay, hey, I'm going to let you guys know this is what we're doing. Here's full transparency. This is why. This is what's happening in the background, all that kind of stuff. And then just be completely honest, right? Don't try and hide it. Don't try and sweep it under the rug. Don't try and, just, make it less than what it is when it's something that's really, can really be worrisome for somebody. So if we can do that, we can show people we're on solid ground, right? That they know who we are and what we stand for. Then they can trust us, and they can, work fully with full confidence. All right. Number 7 is the law of respect, right? People naturally follow leaders who are stronger than themselves. So if people do not have trust in you as a leader, they're not going to respect you nor want to follow you, right? So we need to keep ourselves strong, right? We need to set the example. We can't let our guard down. We have to be consistent. That was hard for me in the beginning when I first started in this industry. I was not always consistent. I would, just kind of all of a sudden drop things, and I wouldn't communicate. Right? I'd be doing presentations, and every week at a certain time, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, maybe nobody showed up or something, and I would just give up, right? And I wouldn't even tell anybody because I was not confident enough, right? I was thinking, oh, it's me. I'm the one that's bad. I'm the one that's nobody likes me. Pity party, and so I would just drop it, right? And then of course, people then, what I was doing was I was proving those people right, probably, right, that I wasn't a good leader and they shouldn't follow me. But when I learned to be consistent and show up no matter what, even if it was just a few people or whatever, just always be there, no matter what, then that's when people started to respect and like, oh, wow, okay, yep, he's there, he's always doing it, he's consistent, right? And then showing the results, but not being boastful, not being not in a bragging way or anything, just being able to say, hey, look, this is what's going on, this is why we're doing it, and this is why I'm excited, and this is why we're here, and consistent. The next thing you know, you gain that respect, right? And people will want to continue to follow you. All right, number 8 is the law of intuition. Leadership intuition separates the greatest leaders from the ones who are merely good, right? So leaders can kind of see everything with leadership bias. As a result, they're going to instinctively know what to do. Everyone is capable of developing this, okay? No one is going to start in the same place. Some have it kind of, ingrained into them from when they were younger, and so they just have it like a natural talent. Others have got to work on it, right? But the more you do it, obviously, the better you're going to get. The more you're just going to kind of instinctively know, oh, this is what I need to do in this situation. This is what I need to say. And then, honestly, what I kind of picked up on it was just listening to my mentors, listening to my leaders, getting on, like a 3-way call or a presentation or whatever with them, and hearing how they would respond, hearing how they say things, hearing how they would, talk about things. And I would pick up on it, right? I'd pick up on some of the words they used and the confidence that they had and stuff. And so now I'm able to kind of duplicate that and kind of anticipate, right, when people are going to say stuff, how to respond, and how to maybe calm fears, and how to, inspire, because I've just been doing it so long now, and I've heard it so many times from so many good leaders that it now becomes intuitive, and that's really fun. All right, and then on that, okay, speaking of these intuition levels, there are those who naturally see it, there are those who are nurtured to see it, and those who will never see it, right? And that's another thing that we learn actually from Jim Rohn in his parable of the sower. It actually talks about that, where there are certain individuals who will just never see it. And so it's sad sometimes, right, that you're trying to work with somebody and, you know, and they just don't get it, and they just don't get it. And you keep trying, and because it's breaking your heart, right? You want them to see it. You want them to get it. You want them to be part of the team and to be successful, and they just won't. They just will not listen. And there's nothing you can do about it. And it's just, you're just wasting your time trying to convince somebody that's just never, ever going to see it. And so it's just time to move on, right? It's just fine. Okay. You know, it's sad, but you just have to go and find those that actually naturally see it, or who can be nurtured to see it. All right. Number 9 is the law of magnetism. When you or who you are is who you will attract. Thus the saying, birds of a feather flock together, right? So you're going to probably find that you and the people who follow you share some common ground, right? You probably have the same kind of outlook, attitude. You're probably from the same generation, right? Like most people, you know, if you're a boomer, you're probably going to be hanging out with, you know, boomer age people. If you're a Gen Xer, you're going to be a Gen X person, right? If you're a millennial, probably hanging out with other millennials. So, and that's fine. That's okay. You know, similar background, similar values, similar life experiences, leadership ability, so on. And that's okay. You know, because you've got a common background, you kind of had a probably similar type of upbringing and that kind of thing. And that's okay. And you can work off each other's strengths and stuff. Not to say that, you know, you won't bring in, if you're a boomer, and that you can't work with a millennial, right? You can, and it's being done all the time. But the majority are probably going to be people about your same age, you know, or same generation, your same attitude, same outlook, same needs, right? And values and stuff. And that's fine. That's okay. You know, attract those people, because everybody's just going to be a little bit more comfortable that way. And when you're comfortable, you can get more done. All right. Now, the law of connection, this one's is really interesting. Some people who are introverts can struggle with this one a little bit, but, you know, true leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand, right? The stronger the relationship and connection between individuals, the more likely the follower will want to help the leader. So there are 6 things to remember with this: being authentic, you know, how the relationship with the people, actually, you know, establishing rapport and all that stuff, approachability, mutual respect, belief in people, and having meaning and depth. So it's really about that. It's really about connecting with people at a deeper level, right? You know, overcoming the superficial, you know, the typical, oh, you know, hey, let's just go make a bunch of money and let's go travel the world and, you know, and see all these things. And that's fun to start off with, right? Because it's universal. Everybody wants to make more money. Everybody wants to travel and see the world and do fun things and stuff. But then when you can actually, you know, be authentic and share your personal dreams and aspirations and maybe weaknesses and struggles that you've had, you know, establish that relationship with others by being empathetic to them, understanding their situation, that kind of stuff, you know, being approachable, right? Letting people actually come and you know, ask you questions and talk to you, and, you know, and being respectful and answering in a kind way and all that, right? And respecting, and you know, if they have different belief systems or whatever, you just respect that, and don't, you know, you don't criticize, you don't you know, tear people down, you don't be a bully, right? You actually believe in them, you believe in what they're doing, you know, because I believe deep down we all want the same thing, which is to, you know, be happy, to take care of our families, to take care of our loved ones, to you know, have a better life, that kind of thing. Most people, you know, there's the exception. There's always those that are just deep down in their heart, they're evil, and they just, you know, don't care about anything, and you know, and they tear stuff down. But the masses, the majority, we all want the same thing, right? Despite, you know, our political differences or our philosophical differences or whatever, we all just want to be happy and enjoy life and spend time together and, you know, make the world a better place. So let's build on that. All right, number 11 is the law of the inner circle. So this is interesting because it's all about having those few intimate, close by people, right? So a leader, their potential is really determined by that. So you're going to find greatness in the group, okay? And you're going to, figure out who's good at what, and you're going to create those alliances and, and working as a team, right? We call that leverage. And if we can do that, then we're going to be able to lift each other up and motivate each other. So there's these 5 types of people that you want to bring in to create that, right? And I like the example of a basketball team, right? Because you have 5 players, and so you have your center and your guards, and and all that. And so you got your defense, and everybody has their role, right? Sports is a great analogy for this kind of thing, right? Not everybody can be the quarterback, not everybody can be a wide receiver, not everybody can be a defensive, back. I mean, they're all the different roles that you have on a team. And if you can find somebody that who raises themselves up, okay, then that can reflect on everybody. If you have somebody who raises morale, right, that's great. If you have somebody who can raise up the leader, that's great. Edification, right? If you can have somebody that raises up everybody, all the others, okay, and then of course those who raise up people who raise up other people, right? So these amazing personal values and production values, if you can find people on your team that can bring these different things to the table, oh my goodness, you're going to be successful, right? And everybody on the team is going to be successful because you're all helping each other. Okay, number 12 is the law of empowerment. So this is about giving power, to others, right? And believing in them. So if you're secure enough, then you're going to do that, right? You're going to give power to others. You're going to be like, okay, I trust this person. I'm going to let them, run with certain things. So if a leader is able to give power away, the organization will become more powerful, right? There's some guys that just want to do it all, right? They don't trust anybody on their team. And so, they got to be involved in everything, or it's not happening, right? But no, only empowered people can reach their full potential. So Maxwell said it this way: I believe the greatest things happen only when you give others the credit. That's the law of empowerment in action, right? So recognizing everyone on the team for their individual contributions and what they're bringing to the table. And next thing you know, you're going to have huge success. All right. Law of reproduction. It takes a leader to help others become leaders, right? That's what we're doing. We're creating leaders. So leaders who develop other leaders are able to see the big picture, attract potential leaders, and create an eagle environment. So what does that mean? It means that the eagles rise above the clouds, right? That's the difference. Most other birds, right? What do? They go hide in the trees. When it's raining, there's a storm, right? They go hide in the trees or somewhere. But the eagles, they rise above it, right? They actually fly up above the clouds and find the sunshine. And they can actually last up there a long time. It's pretty fascinating if you study eagles. So yeah, law of reproduction, right? That is the idea, is that we're going to develop leaders into being leaders. We're going to teach them the principles of leadership so that we have that duplication happening, right? That reproduction. That's the whole key. It's the power of duplication. That's why in our industry, right? Because obviously John Maxwell, he's writing this for standard, just corporate leadership and in a standard traditional business and stuff like that. The advantage we have as networkers is that we are creating duplication, right? We are creating leaders. That's our whole goal. And one of the perks is that we don't have to worry about, all of a sudden one of our leaders that we've developed breaking away and go and creating their own company and becoming the competition, right? Because of our structure, everybody can stay together and everybody can benefit the same as the person above them, and it's okay, right? Everybody has the same opportunity. Nobody's going to break away, nobody's going to become the competition. It's really good. All right, number 14 is the law of buy-in. So people follow worthy leaders who promote worthwhile causes, right? So the leader and the vision can always go together. The two cannot be separated. A leader must get his or her people to buy into them first if the vision has any chance of becoming reality. So it really is about being worthwhile, right? It really is about knowing that this is not just a money grab, right? This is not just a way to, oh, okay, yeah, the company's just going to take my money and and disappear. This is something about it's a worthwhile cause because it's more than just oh, okay, here's like, I don't know, something that's going to just be temporary, right? This is something that can literally bless people's lives, and it can change the world. It can change the way people do things. It makes financial freedom and time freedom a reality for people, and so that, in my opinion, is very worthwhile, right? It protects people, it blesses people, people who maybe couldn't, afford to do fun things and create memories, people that, maybe are worried about retirement and they don't have another way to pay for their retirement and that kind of stuff. So we have a worthwhile cause, and we can, get people to buy into that because it's real, it's true, it's got, the backing it needs and all of that. The product works, right? And those kind of things. All right, number 15 is the law of victory. So leaders are going to find a way for the team to win, the whole team, right? So there are 3 components to achieve victory: unity of vision, diversity of skills, and a leader that is dedicated to victory and to raising players to their potential. So one of the cool things we have, of course, is with our amazing compensation plan, is that it provides for that, right? It allows everybody to win because we're all building it together, and we can all take advantage of that, the group effort, right? The team effort. But, if we're all on the same page, if we're all, fighting that same battle, we're all going toward that same goal. Obviously we're all diversified. We got different skill sets. We got individuals who like to do social media type stuff. We got others that like to do offline kind of stuff. We got others who like to do, just different strategies for talking to people. The old school, just belly to belly, taking somebody out to lunch kind of stuff, right? And telling them about what we're doing. There's all kinds of different skills and methods, but we all have that same vision of where we're going, what we're trying to do. And if we can do that, then, and let people do it their best way, right? Obviously, we're going to teach and train on different skills that we could potentially use, but everybody's going to gravitate to the one that they're most comfortable with and that is working best for them. And that's okay, right? Just let everybody win in their own way. And the point is just making sure that it's consistent, daily, all that kind of stuff. And then we're all going to win together. Number 16 is the law of the big MO. Okay, so developing momentum. The MO is the momentum, right? That's what we want. We want forward progress, right? The law of the big MO. Momentum is key. So we're going to concentrate on what you can do, not what you can't. We're going to celebrate all the victories, no matter how small. And we're going to remind people, if you can't take some heat, get out of the kitchen, right? This may not be for everybody. So, get moving or get out of the way. In other words, this thing's happening with or without us. So let's go, right? And let's create that forward progress. Let's show how things are progressing, and let's teach our teams to get excited, right? That's the biggest thing you can do, is just get excited, pay attention, get excited, and get it done, right? And we'll make it happen. Number 17 is the law of priorities. So we're going to remember the importance of organization. That's first and foremost. Organization. We're going to be organized. We're going to be, we're going to have our daily method of operation. We're going to, be consistent. Let people know, when the calls are, when things are happening, how it all works, when payday is, all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about activity versus accomplishment, right? Because it's like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day, it was built every day. And so it's just that daily consistent activity that really does matter the most, more than the accomplishment, right? So we can recognize that, hey, somebody posted something awesome, right? Somebody shared something great, somebody had an amazing experience here and there, more so than just, oh, somebody achieved this rank, right? Or somebody earned this much money. those are okay, right? It's not that we're not going to talk about that and not do recognition, but we do want to talk about activity. Just who's being consistent, who's showing up, right? Who's coming to the meetings, who's doing the stuff. So we can focus on that as a priority. Then the Pareto principle, which is the 80-20 rule. So we just have to remember, right, that 80% of the stuff happens because 20% of the people did it. Okay, it's just the way it works. I don't know why that is, but it just seems to be true in so many different things. The 80-20 rule is just is amazing how it applies in so many different ways. But it's real, right? It just really is going to be that way, that 20% of the people are going to show up, 20% of the people are going to be building, 20% of the people are going to be achieving the ranks and making the money. 80% of the people just they're going to be kind of just halfway there and not be motivated enough or whatever. It's I don't know why, but that's how it works. So we just have to remember that and not let it get us down, right? Like Mr. Ray Higdon says, go for your no, right? Go talk to 20 people and, try and get 20 no's. And, it's okay because, out of 20 people, you might get one or two that say yes, right? All out of the blue. Oh, really? Okay, cool. That's great. But so 20, only 20 out of 100 say yes. Okay, that's all right. That's good enough. And then the 3 R's. Is it required? Is it the greatest return? And is it the highest reward? Right. So we're going to remember when deciding things, just as a priority, is it required? Right? Is it really necessary? Do we really need that? Right? We don't want distractions. Is it going to give us the best result? Right? And the best reward. So and that's pretty standard. I don't think that's a mystery, but just remember when you're prioritizing things, just remember the 3 R's: required, best return, highest reward. All right, number 18 is the law of sacrifice. Yep, you have to give up to go up. The true nature of leadership really is sacrifice. When you become a leader, you lose the right to think about yourself. So it can be a sacrifice, right? We talk about this a lot. The Slight Edge is one of my favorite books that talks about this law of sacrifice. It really has to do with giving up something good for something better, right? That a lot of people think sacrifice is just giving up the bad things, but no, it's actually giving up something good for something better. So an example, right, is okay, well, I'm gonna give up maybe watching a show with my kids. It's quality time, it's family time, it's good, it's a good thing, right? But we're going to give that up occasionally, not forever, but occasionally for something better, right? Hey kids, I got to go do this call, I got to go be on this Zoom, I got to go do something, talk to this prospect or whatever. And so you're giving up something that's good. You could go read a book, right? You could go watch a movie. You could go, walk around the park. Whatever it is that you like to do, those are good things. But sometimes we have to sacrifice something good to get something better. And then when we do, then we achieve that financial freedom, and then of course we'll have more opportunities to just go and do those things that we mostly enjoy. So. But it's about sacrifice. It's about giving up a Saturday morning, right? That here we are, Saturday morning, listening to a training. We could be sleeping in. We could be, taking the dog for a walk. We could be doing all kinds of things, but we're taking the time, we're sacrificing something good for something better to learn, right? And that's really what it is. And if we do that, then we're going to stop thinking about ourselves. We're going to think about others. We're doing this not for us, it's for our team, right? And making other people's lives better as well. All right, number 19 is the law of timing. So when to lead is just as important as what to do and where to go. So it really is about timing. The right action at the right time will bring success. So we've got to just be careful, right? We got to be careful about when we do things, when we make decisions, when we decide to plan events or meetings or calls or whatever, and how soon we're going to get involved. And, is it too early? Is it too late, for this specific thing? So timing is important, right? Timing is something to really understand and take advantage of when it comes down to it. and, to see the vision and be able to say, okay, yep, I can see where this is going. I want to get in early and position myself and, make sure that it's going to benefit the team and everything, and not miss out because of, and hesitate because of hesitation, because of doubts and concerns, right? And obviously we don't want to get involved in every little thing, but we definitely do want to make sure we're not missing out by, taking too long. All right. Number 20 is the law of explosive growth, right? So this is the ability to develop the right leaders, because leaders math is this: it's multiplication versus followers math, which is just addition. All right. So it's the leverage principle again. We don't want just, to add one by one. We want to duplicate. We want that geometric progression. We want that penny that doubles every single day for 30 days and turns into $1 million, right? So leaders who develop leaders are better than leaders who just develop followers, because leaders that are then going to duplicate, and it's going to grow like crazy. So that is the goal: working with our people individually, taking the time, right? Going back to the law of sacrifice, taking the time to spend with people and teaching them, motivating them, reminding them, all those things, so that they can go and do the same, right? To teach their people. And then next thing you know, you've got a whole army of people teaching other people, and you can now be explosive in your growth. Okay, that's the important thing. All right, finally, the law of legacy. This is what it all boils down to. A leader's lasting value is measured by succession. A team of good leaders is needed in order to succeed. So if we lead with tomorrow as well as today in mind, we're going to be more successful. We're going to understand we're leaving a legacy, right? In other words, those leaders who leave a solid legacy choose a life of significance, not just a life of success, because that really is what we're looking for, right? We want to be somebody that's going to make the world a better place. We're going to be somebody that's going to help others have success and be happy and, overcome the trials of life and all of that. That is a solid legacy. It's about, just being an icon, right? Being somebody that, people look up to and realize, oh, wow, yeah, I'm better. The world is better because that person was here, right? And that is the ultimate goal. Sure, making money's great, traveling the world's great, going and having adventures is great, all those fun things. But really, in the end, it's about, hey, what mark did I leave on the world, right? How many people did I influence? How did I make the world a better place? So it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. 21 laws. Oh my goodness. It's like, okay, how am I going to remember all those? So again, I recommend, go get the book, right? It's cheap. You can get it on Amazon or wherever, really inexpensive. I think it's less than $10 for paperback, and, just have it and study it. Read through it every once and again, try and maybe apply one of these principles per day per 21 days or something. There's a lot of ways that you can do this and understand it, but the book is amazing, and he goes into all these 21 laws with lots more detail and examples and stuff. So highly recommended. John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It will make you a better person, and it will make the world a better place to live in. So definitely, let's apply these 21 laws in our lives and achieve what we're all wanting to achieve. All right, thanks for jumping on today. Hopefully that was helpful, and we'll see you all on the next one.